Most hardware projects start with a product idea. This one starts with the questions nobody in the industry was asking. The filter showerhead category has existed for years. Chlorine removal, heavy metals, better water quality. The science was there, the market was there, but no brand had ever broken through. We wanted to understand why. So before we touched on a single CAD file, we did something most development partners skip entirely. We help our client to talk to people who were actually buying these products. What we found changes everything.
I struggle constantly with the water here.
What was stopping most buyers from getting filter replacement was the filter replacement experience.
It's crazy seeing how nasty my old shower was.
This literally
Unscrewing hardware, getting wet, climbing ladder, that was a real problem. So we redefined the challenge entirely. We built a premium filter showerhead system with one press cartridge to replace filter. It is effortless, satisfying, and really impossible to get wrong.
What was the main challenge of this project?
Well, the main challenge of this project would likely to be putting a locking mechanism inside the product. Now, a lot of products in the market are twisting to open. That isn't very popular using into a showerhead. And to incorporate this kind of mechanisms, it needs some calculation, simulations on the locking mechanism, if that parts can sustain the pressure of the water. And one of the problems, when you press it, it may not pop up and it may stuck inside. And this is the main features. If people can't change their filter, the product is kind of useless. So we had to solve this problem and getting the right spring into the product. This is the answer.
Walk us through what kept failing in the early prototypes and why.
In fact, the funny thing is the spring and locking mechanism didn't have so much problem at the beginning stage. The only problem was when we pressed it, the spring was too strong. Button kind of flew out. So we had to solve this problem. And also, back in our first prototype, we didn't really have something to hide the spring. The spring was visible and the client didn't like it. And we thought, how can we hide the spring and without this popping out as well? So we added some new features to aesthetically cover up the spring mechanism. So it looks like it is a hole without visible mechanism. This is the solution of the problem during production prototype stage.
Tell us about one specific decision where you pushed back on the client, on the factory, or on yourselves, and why it mattered.
Okay, there is a specific decision we pushed back. Was the client wanted to create 8 to 10 colors in their first batch. And they didn't understand about production very much. And the challenge of creating so many colors means that it has to change frequently. Hence, there are increase in costs for production. And we didn't recommend it. And we said, let's start with a few, start selling, and then create more options later on. And this will lower the initial cost of making, and also the factory will be more cooperative. There were times that we were communicating with the factories to push the production less wasted. Seriously, take out a list and mark down if this is acceptable or not. So this is one of the solutions we had. Yeah, make it right. Opine is now entering mass production. Patent application on the structural innovation are near completion. And the one press release, the interaction we spent 6 months engineering, is being shared on social media by people who have never thought about hardware in their lives. That's what it looks like when an engineering disappears into experience. If you're building a physical product right now, this is what the process looks like when it's done right. Our job is to take your product from wherever it is right now all the way to production and ready to go to market. If you want to talk about yours, the link is in the description.